Greetings, everyone. DFG at Gideon's Flight. Hey, guys. This is going to be a short video. I'm going to do another video a little bit later on tonight. I'm going to be talking about Psalms 23. Most of you guys are familiar. Most of you guys know that psalm as a 23rd psalm, but I'm going to break it down and utilize precepts to really give you some meat. Hopefully to strengthen your spirit in these most troubled times that we're living in today. But with that said, I just wanted to take a moment and just share some thoughts on this, on the New Jersey shooters from yesterday, the male and female shooters. It is being reported that they are, black, Hebrew Israelites, and in truth, I'm not surprised that the mass media would label them in such a uh, generic, holistic way because at the end of the day, why not? Why not just take and uh, scandalize, slander, our people? I'm talking in terms of how they identify with them because typically, these white shooters, for example, that killed the people in Odessa, Texas, or in El Paso, no one called them Christian, or white Christians, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tried to attach a label to them that exploited a whole nation of people. But when it came to our people, the Hebrew Israelite, it took them no time to again to make us a reproach to everyone. Now that being said, it's whatever motivated these two individuals to do what they did. You know, without question, we would have to know that if it was not something that was some type of MK, ultra mind controls, something that they may have done to these individuals, because we'll never know. And we know that MK Ultra is real, that they do, use different drugs on people to cause them to do things that most of these people would never have done in their right state of mind, and pretty much it's government ran. Again, I'm not saying that happened. I'm saying I don't know if that happened. But if it did not happen, then, these two individuals were possessed by demons, and the demons took advantage of them. And you heard me talk about it before. I know, when we talk about demons, people tend to think that, oh man, they're crazy. Well, you call it what you want to call it, whatever thoughts into your mind that gives you your ideas, your suggestions, your thoughts that motivate you to, I don't know, drink till you fall out drunk, or take and use opioids till you destroy your families and yourself and your OD, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? You could call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it insanity. We call it demon possession. That's what we call it. So for someone to go out, or for these individuals to go out, if they did this, unprovoked in terms of no other influence other than wickedness, then they were demon possessed, and ultimately they reap what they sowed. They committed murder, therefore they were murdered. The scripture teaches us an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, an arm for an arm, and a life for a life. But in no way should you conflate that, with who we are as a people. We're Hebrew Israelites. We are the chosen of Israel, tribe of Judah. Most of us here, on in America, so-called Turtle Islands, and most of us are definitely non-violent. We do unto others as we would have them do unto us, and that means something to us. That's a value. That's a law. That's a commandment. That's a code that the true Hebrew Israelite honors with his whole life. That's a confession he makes to keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High, Yah. So the Most High now would never tell us to take innocent blood. So they are trying to conflate it, and they're trying to label us by calling them Black Hebrew Israelites to not only marginalize us. It's an attack. It's a spiritual attack against the people of the Most High because they're feeling threatened now with ADOS, and knowledge being increased, and our people, you, me, others, becoming aware of who we are, understanding that the Scripture It's our history book. They're getting threatened now, so they will pull all the stops out to not only marginalize us, but just justify, killing us. If you want to know it, the truth, that's the end game, is to destroy us. And we knew that from the beginning. The scripture says that that they will try to kill you, and many of you will die for Yeshua's sake. So that's no surprise there. But I just wanted to just to ensure that to inform you so that many of you are not misinformed, because we Hebrew Israelites are some of the most Yahuwah fearing people on the planet. We are the light of the world, as the scriptures say, a city that set it upon the hill, as the scripture teaches. We are the example of humanity, the example of decency when we're in our right minds. And let it not be said anything to the contrary. The heathens will say whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying? They always have. They've always accused us of atrocities that 9 times out of 10 they themselves not only are guilty of, but perpetuate even in many of our communities. So again, whatever motivated those two individuals to do what they did, then the just compensates for what they did, they receive. They're dead and they're gone. But the rest of us are still here, and we will still stand for the Most High. We will still stand by the word. We will still walk like men and women, our women, with our heads held high as mighty men and women of valor. That's all I have to say about it. My heart, well, I'm not going to tell a lie. I'm not going to say my heart goes out to those families. All I would say this much is I'm saddened for what happened to their families. You follow me? Those whose lives were taken, the innocent people whose lives were taken, the police officer whose life was taken. I'm saddened that happened to them. If I knew them, I'm sure I would say my heart goes out to them, but I don't know those people. But I know that what happened was injustice, and it should never have happened to them. But it did, and that's the reality. But the rest of us, we're not going to back down. We're not going to run. We're not going to abandon the Most High because of the lies that they're trying to associate us with in terms of somehow, it's like they did the Muslim back during Malcolm's day. They wouldn't call them the Nation of Islam, or they wouldn't call them Muslims. They called them black Muslims. Yet Elijah Muhammad and the Muslims never could call themselves black Muslims. That was a slanderous name placed on them to make them an extremist group, or to make them appear to be a hate group, very similar to the Ku Klux Klan and White Citizens Council and things of that nature. Okay, and that's the same now. They're trying to slander us by calling us black. Our people are multicolored people, the colored people. We call colored people because our color, we have a broad range of color. Some of the Hebrew Israelites are whiter than what you would consider most white people, and some of us are darker than what you would consider black. That's why the name colored people were attached to us when the Europeans came here, because of the broad range of color that they saw here on Turtle Island. Okay? But at the end of the day, again, don't let this cause you to walk away from Yah, disassociate yourself from the people. If anything, this is a time to come together, guys, and stand together, and be united in one faith, one hope, and as Paul said, one baptism. Okay? Love you guys. Talk to you a little later. Psalm 23. And again, I'm saddened about what happened, but I think we're going to see a lot more of those kind of atrocities, unfortunately, in the future. And we're going to have to steel ourselves, as these things happen. Okay, or as these things come to fruition. Talk to you later, guys. Bye now.